Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Welcome to Drinking Bros, kids. Here we are. Look at that. Yeah. If you're watching on the old YouTube right now, it's the first time that I've ever worn a runner's hat, D'Anthony.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's nice. Drive it like you stole it. We got this from a new sponsor today.
Yeah.
Bubs Naturals is our new sponsor coming at you. And these were in the box. I didn't know a runner's hat existed.
Yeah.
It's for sweat, right?
I would imagine so.
Okay. I'm a bandana guy.
It's also super comfortable and very light. It's lighter than a normal hat. I think this is probably what I'll wear to the Backstreet Boys concert later today, which is, we're recording on Friday, but
You're going
Monday. Me and Jared, Brittany, and Jared's girlfriend are going
to see the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, at Coda, at the racetrack over here.
No shit. Is that outside?
Yeah, it is. We were going to wear tracksuits, but the girls vetoed that because it's going to be too hot.
Man, it is fucking sweltering down here. It's real hot.
It's going to be even hotter in a fucking racetrack, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought with this little tiny runner's hat, I'd wear the little tiny glasses to go with it. That way I feel like I'm ready for stage 13 at the Tour de France. Mm-hmm. Quick recap real quick. I went to the doctors today. I've gotten a lot of messages like, hey, has everything been all right, during this journey? And the answer is yes. I had my 6-month checkup. It's hard to believe that was only 6 months ago. Or that it was already 6 months, I guess, that I was in a fucking coma. But here we are. I will say this. 2 things the doctor said. He said, range of motion is shit. He listens to the show and he goes, thank God McAfee didn't take you up on that. You would have lost your money. So I was still trying to work that back from the old chest tubes on the right side of my body. The other thing he said, and I don't know if you get this a lot, is thank God you guys are back on every single day because you're the only ones that are telling it like it is as far as like how fucked up everything is in the world. And I feel like lately I'm hearing that more and more out in public. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, people, obviously you can't watch the news. Because that's not
Yeah, you can't. And, I mean, it's fucking wild to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the doctor, he was just like, dude, I don't know what I would do if you guys weren't on every day. And I'm getting that a lot more and more when we go out and shit. And we're not planning on stopping at all. Until they cancel us, obviously. But even with the old doctoro, he was like, you're good to go. Did the coma probably take some years off your life? Yes. But is that the years you really wanted anyways? And I was like, no, absolutely not. So I said, look, am I free to go until the wheels fall off this goddamn train? And he goes, yeah, go ahead. You're good to go. So all is well. I appreciate the messages and all that other stuff. And I got a relatively clean bill of health. Everything was good. So we're good to go. He's going to love this show because I'm going hard on this fucking January 6th hearing. I know you refused to watch it last night.
That's right.
And I understand that. I watched it for the sake of this show, and I also wanted to see what Hollywood was trying to do with this fucking thing. And we were thinking about going live for it. Thank God we didn't, or else we would have been fully banned on YouTube. And not just shadow banned.
Yeah, no, it was, I didn't watch it. I watched some recaps from people that are pretty good at doing recaps. Mm-hmm. And it was the most nothing burger of all time. No. It's like no new information.
Nope.
They took old information and like Charlie Kelly in the basement looking for Pepe Silvia made all these connections like, well, this person knows this person. They must have colluded.
Right.
That's a logical fallacy called begging the question. Mm-hmm. It's fucking stupid. And that it littered the entire thing.
It did, even from the opening bit. There was a black guy, older gentleman named Benny Thompson, who spoke first. He was kind of the lead foreman of this trial, if you will. I don't know if he's going to be the one asking the questions, because I guess they're supposed to do this 6 more days to get to the bottom of it. It was 7 Democrats, including Benny, and then 2 Republicans, which were Liz Cheney and our good buddy Adam Kinzinger was there. What the fuck is he doing? I can't figure it out.
Well, I mean, they're angling for some other job somewhere. This has nothing to do with reality because nothing they say reflects reality. Liz Cheney right now is polling, I think, 40 points behind her competition.
Correct.
So it's like, I don't know if she thinks she's a hero or if this is like a way for her to exit gracefully as a martyr for that side, transition over to that side, and then
maybe.
then get a job in the administration or some shit like that. Who knows?
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. It seemed like Kinzinger was maybe auditioning for CNN, because they're supposed to go down the middle and they're interviewing people on the right now to go to CNN. Maybe that is the case. I'm not really sure. But when Benny opened up, he compared January 6th to slavery, which, yes, he is black. Man.
Well, I mean, Kamala Harris compared it to Pearl Harbor and 9/11, so that's what he said is not even close to as stupid as what she said.
So the next date that was brought up in this, Anthony, was 9/11. So this was a day that will live in infamy, just like 9/11.
What about May 29th of 2020?
What day is that? What happened then?
That's when the George Floyd riots happened in Washington, D.C., and the president was taken down to the bunker to hide him, and 150 local and federal police officers were injured.
Dan, it never happened.
Yeah, it did happen.
No, it didn't. According to the media, it never happened. Nobody's ever heard of that. It was fiery, but mostly peaceful. And, looking back at it, because they had a bunch of footage last night from old J6. They were like unseen footage. We've seen all the footage.
There was definitely no unseen or previously unseen footage published last night.
Not at all.
Like not 1 second of video or one image that hasn't been seen by everybody in the world already.
Yeah, the only thing that was kind of new that they brought up that hasn't been seen before was it looked like deposition testimony from Ivanka Trump, Bill Barr, and there was one other guy that I'm blanking on. Either way, for anybody out there who has been in lawsuits or sat in a deposition, those are typically, on average, about 8 hours a day. Now, the footage they showed you last night, the one from Bill Barr was about 16 seconds. So when you're editing things together, Hollywood-wise, and you're trying to put on a production, which, let's face it, last night's bullshit was a fucking production and had nothing to do with actually trying to get to the bottom of everything. They're just trying to get you to vote Democrat in the fall. To use a 16-second clip, and that's all you got out of an 8-hour deposition at a minimum. Because let's face it, Bill Barr was probably interviewed 4 days, so you're probably looking at close to 32 hours, somewhere in there. And you're only able to pull a 16-second clip and then play that. Same with Ivanka. Oh, it was Jared Kushner was the other one. Same with Ivanka. Ivanka, I think they pulled a 48-second clip, and I believe she testified for 2 or 3 days as well. When you do this, you're clearly trying to edit and create your own narrative to help your story and push whatever bullshit agenda you have on the United States. Same with Kushner. Now, Kushner had a conversation with somebody regarding Trump, and he was just like, he might be whining about the election or whatever. And it was like, they were like, oh, that's the smoking gun. No, none of it was. Although something is smoking in here. Can you smell it?
You're probably just having a stroke.
Is that weed? Is my fucking arm burning, or do you smell something burning in here?
There's no weed. Giorgio's gone.
Okay. What is burning then?
That's you.
Then I am going to die.
I do smell something.
Something is burning for sure.
But it doesn't smell bad.
Something's burning. It'd be awesome. It's our last week in the studio. If it goes up in flames, that'd be a hell of a way to go out, wouldn't it? Just have this whole fucking thing torched to the ground. That'd be great. But yeah, Kushner was on there. They had Ivanka on there. Total, all in all, from their deposition testimony, they were maybe able to clear about 3.5 minutes out of all those people. It was completely ridiculous, and it was out of context. So you don't know what the rest of that story was that they were actually giving their account on. And then it was all stitched together. So it was super fucking strange. The other part that was strange, Dan, was their lead witness was a documentary filmmaker who was following the Proud Boys, and the guy's name was Nick Quested. Quested. Yeah, and he was like a British guy. It reminded me of a character in like Waiting for Guffman or something like that, where you're like, oh, oi, Nick Quested. Yeah, it was following him around in a Capitol building. I think he might have been Australian. Who fucking knows with this whole bullshit? But they interviewed him. What happened? He showed some footage of following the Proud Boys into the building. And you know who was on there a lot, D'Anthony?
Who's that? Biggs?
Joe Biggs.
Yeah.
So they had him on camera. They said it was led by him and everything else. But to that, I say this. If it is the Proud Boys, right, in which they don't have a big organization nor are they financed properly or anything like that, to me, them storming the Capitol, if that indeed was the 200 people that were fucking storming the Capitol and doing this shit, like, prosecute them to the fullest. Who gives a fuck? But let's not pretend that was all of America who fucking rushed the Capitol building and got in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already know who all these people are, right? This has all been gone through a number of times already. This is all fucking magician's patter at this point to distract you. I mean, the vast majority of the people that entered the Capitol hung out in the main gallery and stayed between the stanchions. Right? There were small numbers of people who were doing other shit, I guess. I don't know who those people were, but this is just exhausting, having to pretend like any of this is real. It's fucking nonsense, man. I mean, I was sent the parts where they tried to make correlations between the Proud Boys and either Trump or some other politician giving them orders of some sort.
Yes.
And there is literally nothing there.
No. You would have phone calls recorded from the White House if he was calling the Proud Boys to ask them to fucking rush the Capitol.
Yeah.
Now, what you had instead was you had interviews with random people who were there who said Trump wanted us to do this. Well, no, Trump wanted you to go to the fucking rally down there that he was speaking at. He did not order anybody to fucking rush through the Capitol and try to fucking get Pelosi or anybody else, right? Yeah. As far as the hanging Mike Pence thing, I assume, my guess is that was probably in jest, having, had some interaction with him in the past. Like, he was just probably like, get this fucking guy out of here. I don't take any of that fucking seriously. But, as far as January 6th goes, comparing it to 9/11 and everything else, it's fucking ridiculous. And slavery? Come on, man. Are we still fucking doing this shit? Like, apparently we are. The next thing I did after this was over was I went to Twitter. And, you can always see the blue check marks there chiming in from the Democratic Party. And it was AOC and Al Franken. Al Franken appears to be trying to make another run.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because he's back in full force. And most of the comments were, are you watching this? Wow. If you're not disgusted by this, are you even an American? And it was just like, man, I've seen this fucking movie, bro. Like, we've all moved on. Now, what we haven't moved on from was today's inflation report.
Yeah. Well, just before we move on to inflation, I refuse to take anything that happened on January 6th seriously until anybody from the left takes the fucking $2 billion and 40 dead people and hundreds of police injured riots seriously. Like, fuck off, dude. This is the biggest pile of fucking nothing of all time.
Yeah. And the ratings showed it. Like, they can't drum up interest for this, and then you're kind of fucked. Because then everybody wakes up today, and then they go back to the real life with the inflation. Inflation came in at 8.3 today. It's the highest in 40 fucking years. It's not good. Market down another 800 points before I walked in. Crypto is following it. I don't know what they're going to do. They called an emergency meeting next week. They're going to meet with the feds about something. And I don't know what that something is, because you can't do anything about gas prices unless you beef up production. But even what you were saying on fake news last week was, even if you did, what is that? 4 to 6 weeks away at best, if everything went.
No, it's not even a month.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Okay.
It's
what
less
is
than
it?
a month, like
Okay.
28 days, maybe.
So will they do that?
I mean, that's if we used the entire supply to fulfill our entire need. That wouldn't be the case. It would be longer. But they already pledged I think 1 million barrels a day for the next 180 days or something like that.
Okay.
I think is the thing they did about a month ago.
Yeah.
So that's going to be going on until the fall. But it hasn't done
anything for gas prices.
which is what I said at the time.
Yeah.
It's not going to do shit. Now, the last time there was a simultaneous rise in inflation, which appeared to be leading to recession and a gas crisis at the same time, was 79, right?
Yep.
With Jimmy Carter, who is apparently still our president, it looks like.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Same age. They're both still alive.
By the time drastic measures were taken by the Fed, I think the interest rates had already been lifted to 11%, and they lifted them all the way to like 19%.
Yeah.
Right? The demand on that stuff is what cools prices back down, like bringing demand down. So, I don't know unless there's a plan to raise interest rates to 15 to 20% or so. I don't know that there's anything the government can do about this ever wait it out. I mean, eventually it'll correct itself, but
how? and I guess that's the question I wanted to
it corrects
ask
itself
you here.
because that's how the market works. The value of the dollar goes down, right? And people's needs don't, but their expendable income does. So they do less expendable shit. Those markets dry up, and the market as a whole has to readjust its rate structure and its pricing to come back down, right? To meet people where their spending capabilities are. Either that or you go out of business, right?
Right.
So the businesses that can't do that go away. The businesses that can, whether because they have large coffers or because they have a lot of flexibility in their margins or whatever it is, they survive, and then the economy starts to fucking rebuild itself. But this is the same thing with if you run a business.
Yeah.
Creating manageable growth and giving yourself runways to be able to do the shit you need to do without jeopardizing the company. That it's the same with the economy, and we've done everything we can to fuck this up.
Yeah, and I mean, even Bloomberg this morning, I was reading an article, U.S. consumer sentiment plunged in early June to the lowest on record. So it's the lowest on record in the history of our fucking country. I don't know a way out of this, and I'm not sure how it gets better. I was online last night with Drinkin Bros listeners trying to get some baby formula shipped in, and I was able to get a hold of somebody. But that's where we're at. I'm like, hey, dude, do you got any of that baby formula? Because right now, I feel like I'm asking people for crack cocaine. I mean, it's fucked.
Yeah. The really weird thing about this, again, I'll reference the 79 oil crisis. The savior and all that turned out to be Russia. They become the world's largest exporter of petroleum then during that period of time. And we're kind of in that situation again. I mean, Putin just said in a news conference this morning, I guess it would be afternoon Russian time, but that he's not at all concerned about boycotts or sanctions about energy. Like he knows that they can't afford to do that right now.
No.
By they, I mean the entire West.
Yeah.
So we're in that situation again where instead of doing the smart thing to a powerful enemy, which is their Russia's best resource is fuel production and wheat, right? If we really wanted to fuck Russia over and stop them from becoming powerful, stop them from interfering in Syria and Iran and all these other places, we would find other places to buy that shit and get other Western countries places to buy that shit and box Russia completely out. That's how the way we won the Cold War wasn't through micro wars in Ukraine and Poland and shit like that. It was the fucking dumb Reagan space program, the Star Wars program. Nothing about it was reasonable. But we spent more money than we knew they could spend. And we knew that they had to keep up with us. Otherwise, that's not going to work for them. So we're not attacking at their weakness. They're attacking at our weakness, right now, and we're letting them dictate the terms of all this shit. It's the dumbest thing of all time, and right now we're getting into the same exact situation where we've done everything wrong up until this point, and now the people that we're trying to stop from this fucking cruel invasion, we have to pay them.
Yeah.
Right?
And
their economy is going to, the Russian economy over the next 5 years will be fucking booming because of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then Biden made a statement earlier here. This is the first time I'm reading it, so I'll read it aloud because they're pissed. People are pissed about what's going on, obviously. So he's trying to explain everything as far as inflation and gas prices and all that shit. One of the comments here was Exxon made more money than God this year. Biden says as he threatens the oil companies over record gas prices. And then he also told them to pay their taxes. What does that mean exactly?
Do you remember King John? Robin Hood.
Okay, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So Richard the Lionheart's little brother, Richard the Lionheart, goes on the Crusades, travels back through France to get to England, murders everybody on his way to steal their shit, obviously, because they're French and fuck them. He gets killed. John becomes king. John starts negotiating with the wardens, which would basically be like feudalist governors in England. And that's where the Magna Carta came from, where they wanted a written document about their rights. But the rights were really only for the wardens. You know what I mean? Like they had their armies that fought for them and shit, but the property rights and the right to appeal against cruel and unusual treatment from the crown and all that stuff, that only applied to the aristocracy still, right? And that's what Biden thinks he is. I've been telling you people this for fucking years now. That's how these long-term political people feel. They think that they are your leaders and that in as much they can do whatever they feel is necessary to lead you, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not true. We elect leaders 2 to 6 years at a time, right? Either Congress, president, governor, or Senate at 6 years, right? We don't do that. We don't name leaders. We don't have an aristocracy. Well, we do. We manufactured one. It's probably time to unmanufacture that.
Yes, I mean, as far as their taxes go, that seems to be the go-to with all these corporations. Pay your taxes. You need to pay your taxes. Meanwhile, there was record taxes this year for American citizens.
Yeah.
So
pretty much which is funny. So there's been a record amount of taxes collected and record inflation at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's called the pinch. It's like the worst thing that can happen to an economy.
Oh, yeah.
Like the worst thing that can happen during a financial crisis is that the government tries to take more money from people. That's the word. That is the death row of. Yeah, first of all, I don't know how many wars of independence started that way, but I would say most of them, right?
Yeah.
Almost every war of independence started with some poor dude telling some rich dude he's not paying for his bullshit anymore. And we're about there too, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, this is all pretty interesting. It's sad that we've gotten here.
Yeah, the other thing he said was they're really pushing this phrase, Putin's price hike. Like, I know that him and Jen Psaki really crafted this out a couple months ago, and they're really trying to do this. Like, no, it's not. We could have just let all of that go, not given Ukraine any money.
If you look at
just said, well, fuck it.
Gas prices and inflation were up a long time before Putin got involved in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
Like quite a while before that. So
yeah.
That's absolute. First of all, it's nonsense. Now, it's also nonsense to suggest that it's not making it worse, because it definitely is. But we decided that. We decided to send $54 billion over there and to antagonize a country that we buy wheat and oil from, food and fuel. Maybe not the best idea.
No.
I don't know.
No. How do we get out of this is the question.
There's only... Well, I mean, what do you mean by this, I guess, I would ask?
Inflation, food prices, groceries. Like, I'm reading it here off of this report. Groceries are up 11.9%. Gasoline has risen 48.7%. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, was also higher than a 6% annual rate. And what they're saying here is it's the strongest signal yet that inflation has not yet peaked, as Biden previously claimed. And it's interesting to now see the media turn on him, probably because they've got to fucking drive to work the same as everybody else. And they're like, all right, well, fuck this. Like, I'm done kind of living in this lie. Because I'm starting to read more and more articles about this. Even CNN publicly is saying they're trying to go back more towards the middle.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to report on at this point?
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking generally how inflation usually gets solved, more supply helps, because if there's only 10 of something, it costs more than if there's a million of them, obviously. That's how the market works. The first thing you can do is stop printing more money. Stop introducing more dollar bills into the circulation, right? And so, I've said this before, but it bears repeating. A very large portion of our currency has been printed over the last 2 years, 24 months. Hold on, let me look up how much.
By the way, here, the rest of this Exxon quote from Biden today was obviously Exxon made more money than God last year. We're going to make sure everyone knows Exxon's profits. They're not drilling. They're buying back their own stocks and making no new investments. Exxon, start investing, start paying your taxes. What does he mean when he says they're not drilling?
So there are quite a few granted drilling permits that aren't being acted on right now in the United States.
And why is that?
You'd have to ask Exxon, but my understanding is because they're not very good places to drill.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
But who knows? And maybe it doesn't make sense for them to drill in a place that has a low yield when gas prices are as such, right? I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody from Exxon. 80% of all U.S. dollars in current circulation were printed in the last 2 years.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes. That's on stockexchange.com.
80% of all U.S. dollars in the last 2 years?
Yeah, that's right. And all the money. I mean, we don't have
Jesus Christ.
we don't have a bunch of money sitting in the bank somewhere. We have a huge debt.
Yeah.
And we have a huge deficit annually as well. So when Congress decided to send $40 billion and before that more, and for a total of about $57 billion to Ukraine, they printed that money, right? They printed it, handed half of it to the Department of Defense or military contractors.
Yep.
Well, about 70% actually, and then the rest went to what? Who the fuck knows, right?
No.
Yeah, but we just printed that money. So if you're a person that owns, if you're part of this patrician ruling class and all of your wealth is tied up in property and equity, then this is the best possible scenario for you. It doesn't matter if the people that run the country decide that the dollar isn't the dollar anymore, right? That it's something else. Like maybe they do switch to cryptocurrency at some point. Who knows? There's not a whole lot anybody can do about that.
Well, it's weird. You know, they talked about it for a little bit, and then seeing the way crypto has reacted to the stock market, people aren't pulling their money out of one and putting it in the other. They need money to live. So I'm not sure that dream's going to stay alive as far as a U.S. crypto coin going forward. They'll probably push it for a few years. Would it be the future? Yes, absolutely. I don't use cash on a day-to-day basis. Do you? Right now, we're just kind of swiping everything and moving on with our day, and I'm fine with that. And I'm assuming the government would be fine with that as well, because that is all easily trackable versus handing cash to various workers and saying, "Whoopsies, I'm not going to report that."
Yeah.
Digitally, there'd be no way out of it because you'd have this paper trail forever on all that goddamn shit. So it would make sense if they actually did do it. I don't think they have the infrastructure to even approach it right now.
Probably not, yeah.
That's my guess.
But they do have the ability to turn the faucet off whenever, right? It's why just the idea of partisan politicians being in charge of the country for 2 to 4 years at a time is absolute nonsense, right? Political parties should be outlawed. It's fucking stupid that you would bring, like if your belief structure is deluded enough to think that it's in any way reasonable to print money during an inflation crisis, you should be immediately removed from office and probably thrown into the ocean, I guess, like China does. I mean, what the fuck? That you're useless as a human being. Like, imagine if there's ways to quantify the misery that they're creating for people, right?
Yeah.
Like you will see it over the next couple of months. You'll see, like it has a tail. It takes a little while to catch up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's all the people moving at the same time. This is a good example of how some of the inflation happened because of circumstance. Everybody decided to move because they were trapped in their house for COVID, right? Mm-hmm. Not that any of that was useful, as we now discovered, right?
Well, I will say this. A lot of people are working from home, so that move was either to have extra office space or actually live somewhere you want to live.
I meant lockdowns had no fucking purpose.
Oh, correct. But as far as moving to a different house, that made sense to me where I was like, all right, great. Because I still don't think people are going back to the office. I mean, even Elon Musk, had to issue a fucking memo to the company of like, you're coming in, assholes.
Yeah. With housing, it's different than if there's a run on toilet paper or something like that. Like, that might take 3 weeks to solve. If there's complicating factors like supply chain issues generally or transportation issues, maybe it gets compounded. But the manufacture of stuff like that, simple goods that we buy, pretty easy to catch back up on that in a short amount of time. It's not really easy to build new houses.
Right.
Like, not only is it not easy, like, it takes 9 to 10 months to build a house in general. But once there's a run on that market, there's also a run on the supply market, right?
Right.
And that compounds. So it made sense. The housing market, because of the lockdowns and because of everybody moving, that was going to cause some inflation, no matter what. And the way that you deal with that is you raise interest rates to price people out, to disincentivize people from moving, right?
Yeah. Which is what they're doing, and I mean,
yeah,
I guess
they're just nibbling. I mean, they should have by now, with another 8.5% inflation month, they should have raised rates to like 10% already.
Well, I don't know that you can do that because I don't think we've ever been there.
Yeah, we have.
10%?
In 79, we were at 18%.
I wasn't alive, Dan. So.
Yeah, when you were like 6 years old, I think.
Sure
yeah.
wasn't. Sure wasn't even on this earth.
But
I read about it.
During the last
read a lot about it.
During the last crisis that was like this, which is a combined general inflation leading to recession with a fuel crisis, interest rates went really high. And the sooner you do it, like you don't need to fucking stop people permanently from buying new houses. All you have to do is stop her for like 3 months or 4 or 5 months until the market starts to regulate itself. And once it's on the way back down, you can fucking drop rates faster than what you raised them at before. Mm-hmm. Historically, that's been the case. So I don't know. Maybe they think this is another, like, raising rates like that is another thing that they're going to have to fight against in November. But man, you have nothing in the tank.
No.
Like, Bernie Sanders wrote an op-ed, I think, 2 days ago. It was like, if the Democrats think they're going to use January 6th and the fucking Roe thing to win in November, they're out of their minds.
Yeah, and he's correct.
Yeah, he's very correct.
Because,
like,
I mean,
people feel their wallet and their stomach.
Yep.
That's what they feel. And if you're not doing something about those two things, then you can fuck off with everything else.
Yeah, and since you mentioned it, and their stomach, I've got some of the inflation numbers from May of 2021 to May of 2022. As far as just food, just putting food on your fucking table. Bacon is up 15.3%, bacon prices. Beef prices are up 10.2% in a year. Cereal is up 12.2% in a year. Eggs are up 32.2% in 1 year. Fruits and vegetables up 8.2%. Bread is up 8.7%. Milk is 15.9%.
I heard cockroach milk is actually good for you. Better than cow milk. Anyways.
I don't know.
Yeah, so imagine you're living paycheck to paycheck. At the end of the week, after you buy food for your kids and shit, you've got like, what, 50 or $100 left from your weekly paycheck. And now everything that you just bought costs 8.5% more.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not going to be good for you. And I mean, technically, austerity will fix inflation over time. That's a rough way to go about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like a wheel that's spinning too fast and it's starting to wobble. All you have to do is slow it down a little bit. You don't have to fucking knock it off the tracks or any of that stuff. But you have to have the intelligence and the foresight and the will to do it. And the way our government set up is fucking stupid. It was 16.63% in 1981. So it never got to 18, but it was close to 17.
All right. And a lot of you have reached out and asked us to have the millennial farmer back on to kind of explain this. We were tagged in a bunch of posts on social media, and he was down. He was like, yo, I love those guys. Let's do it. So we'll try to book him in the future. In the meantime, if you're trying to find some deals out there, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. They've never raised the price of their mattresses during all this. So they're there. The deals are there. 40% off the bundle package. It's the adjustable base and the mattress. Combined together, 40% off of that. Might as well watch the world burn in comfort, is what we always say on this program, and we mean it. It's got remote control, USB ports, all of it. You can plug all your shit into your bed and then just watch it burn from a nice, comfortable mattress that is a cooling mattress. Now, if you want the cooling pillows, type in the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout for 30% off there. With those cooling pillows and the mattress about 15 degrees cooler than the rest of your house. I don't really know how they do it. I know they put a patent on it. We talked to Homeboy about it, the president of Ghost Bed, when he was on the show. And good on those guys for doing it because it's the best goddamn night's sleep I've ever had. And you can load up the cart there. So if you want, a mattress or sheets or the weighted blankets, pop it all in the carts and then type in the promo code Drinkin Bros for 30% off at checkout. And for all of 2022, they've got a 60-month pay-as-you-go, no interest program as long as you have decent credits. And you can combine those deals with that. Walk out of there with a brand new bedroom set for about $20-25 a month at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. A lot of people are starting to do that, by the way. Add these no interest things to kind of space out payments over time. More and more when I check out, because I pretty much buy everything online these days. Unless I'm going in person for the kids or something like that. A lot of these places are having these programs, and it's because of what's going on in the world. Prices haven't changed at hardafseltzer.com either. Shipping to 42 states. Now's the time to drink away all your worries with an 8% seltzer. That'll get you rocked in moments. OG flavors are still there. Peach, blue raspberry, lemon lime, and the strawberry shortcake. Got a couple new flavors coming out in the middle of the summer, so get them while they're still there. I'd say another 60 days probably of the OG flavors. So we're running out. Go to hardafseltzer.com. We ship to 42 states right to your doorstep, and we only ship as a case. So you get 24 cans. That way you can just get rocked with your neighbors, yourself, whoever. Go get fucking rocked this summer at hardafseltzer.com. Last but not least, we got the Drinkin Bros store, D'Anthony. It is stocked. I bought 5 Flex Fit hats for myself last night. That's a mouthful. 5 Flex Fit hats.
Why 5?
It's a miracle that I got that out. I didn't know about these little runners. I sweat through all my shit.
These aren't ours.
I know these aren't ours.
Yeah.
But I sweat through all my shit, right? So I just bought like a bunch of new ones. And I love them. Those is it 3530? What's the name of those? What's the name of that company that does it?
It does what?
The Flex Fit?
hats?
Yeah. It's I think
know.
they're an offshoot of like New Era or something. It's the same ones as like Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I was fucking stunned.
Yeah, they're good.
Give a shout out to Brittany when you see her. Like I was like, what the fuck? These are the ones I bought from the Braves game.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We've got the same ones for Drinkin' Bros, so you can go to the websites and use that promo code DB20 if you want to for 20% off of that.
We got a lot of new merchandise up there too.
Father's Day is here. You can buy your dad some stuff. Go to drinkinbros.com/store and get all your goodies there. DB20 is the promo code there. Going to give a little inflation promo code, you know? We're in the middle of it, aren't we? My God, man. Breaking news, Biden has decided to drop COVID testing requirements for international travel. It's about time. You know, middle of June.
Yeah, maybe Canada will do the same.
What the fuck are they going to do? That's exactly what I was thinking when I read this. What are they going to do?
They're still holding most of their, not most, they're still holding a large percentage of their population hostage, basically.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So they've got the freeze on the guns for what, 6 months at a minimum, they said?
I mean, I don't know.
All gun buy, that you can't buy a gun for 6 months, and they're putting a freeze on that. The citizens can't leave the state.
Well, they can't, so you can't, you can't get on a boat or an airplane unless you're vaccinated.
Out of there or into there?
Either way.
Great.
Yeah. I think you can drive across the border, but you can't come back, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe the United States doesn't let foreigners in if they're not vaccinated or something. I don't know how that is set up. I mean, if you just walk across the southern border, nobody seems to care. By the way, there's another caravan of 15,000 people on the way to the border right now.
I got footage of it sent to me by a border agent. I'd love to fucking post it if we could, but how do you get it from Instagram Messenger out to somebody?
You should be able to save it to your camera roll.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. All right.
Just hold it.
Yeah, I'll try it.
His phone's just going to fucking start smoking and
sure.
disintegrate in his hand.
I'm sure. What happened with the smoke in here? Are we alive? Are we going to live through this?
I think so.
You think so? All right.
I hope not.
I mean, yeah, me neither. Let's go down with it today.
I mean, we're moving a lot of things, so who knows if Sean kicked over, like, some lamp that started a fire upstairs.
I like how you immediately blame it on Sean.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I got nothing as far as like saving it on here, which fucking sucks.
Hold it.
Yeah,
I did.
Press on and hold it.
And it says,
Save
it says
the camera
more.
roll.
Save. There you go. Look at you. You fucking dick. You fucking tech savvy son of a bitch.
He just taught you something that most 5-year-olds know.
No need for it. Who's texting me fucking videos that I need to save? Like, for real.
I don't know.
You know,
maybe Chili.
I've been with the same woman for 11 years. Like, if it was nudes, sure. If it was, masturbation vids or some jack-off sessions, absolutely. But the fact that it isn't, like, I got nothing really to save on here. Who am I texting this to? Who's that going to? Is that Bobathy?
Yeah, I mean, you could send it to him. Just send it to drinkinbros@gmail.com.
Too late. I've already
That's
pressed.
the easiest way to do
it is. It is and
you.
it isn't. I just texted it to you, Bobathy. You can post that. So we get some footage from immigration down there, and it is not sweet, dude.
No.
I didn't think it was this bad, but we'll pop that up on screen here in a second when Bobathy gets it. One of the interesting posts, though, in the New York Post this morning was because they kind of lean right. I don't know if you've noticed, but the New York Post kind of leans right.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
What they're saying is Republicans should leave Trump and the obsessed Dems just completely behind and start over. What do you think? Is that a good idea?
Well, what does that mean, leave Trump behind?
Move on, try to get a new candidate because he's too polarizing?
I mean, I don't think that any Republican should be spending any amount of their time defending any particular personality or another. It's about the ideology, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I would agree with that.
So what they're saying is, look, with everything that's gone on, and the attention that he still commands, start over with a new candidate. To that point, I say if you're going to, you probably got to go to DeSantis. I don't know anybody else who's strong enough. Do you?
No, but I mean, there's nobody strong on the left either. I wouldn't be surprised if Gavin Newsom runs as a Democratic nominee.
That was another article that was written today, my man.
Like he has literally.
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, he has no chance of winning, but the left is so diluted that they would definitely put that guy up for sure.
With the state of emergency that California is constantly in, it's fucking insane to me that you would even pitch that.
Yeah.
At least Florida's thriving for
But
Christ's sakes.
he'll be I guarantee you he'll be in the hunt for it, 100%.
Yeah. Look, there was, I literally read that this morning.
Especially if DeSantis doesn't run, then you can expect Newsom to run. Newsom versus Trump or something like that, if Trump decides to run again, would be that would be something that the left likes.
Yes.
They can't keep. I mean, I'm not saying it would work. I think that's fucking batshit fucking crazy. Like, people have kind of gotten over how much of a dick Trump is and how stupid he is about stuff. Like, the one thing that did pop out during the hearing, fucking fake. I guess it's basically a mockumentary, right?
That's what it felt like.
I mean, it's like Spinal Tap.
Yeah, it felt like a Christopher Guest movie.
But the one thing that is a recurring theme is that everybody around him that's reasonable was trying to tell him to shut the fuck up or say something. Tell these people to go home.
Right.
Like, it's gotten violent now. Just tell them to go home. We'll do this another time or
Yeah.
whatever. A bunch of people said it. Sean Hannity said it. His own fucking kids.
Yep.
Including TJ said it. And he got mad at them, told them to shut the fuck up. Cool, man. Like, that all happened. As one, you should know that when you're making your decision about whether or not to continue supporting the guy. He had an opportunity as a leader to make a decision that would have stopped all this and not giving what you consider to be your political enemy all of this fuel that's captured all of this attention and cost us so much. Not money, but and actually getting anything done.
Time, media coverage, all that shit.
Yeah.
Arguably a couple Senate seats in Georgia as well.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So just from that perspective, like, how I guess it's like a sports team, right? Like, how good does a guy have to be for you to forget about how big of a piece of shit he is? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, Trump did. The state of the country was much better under him. There's no question about that.
I'm trying to think, like, what would you say, Barry Bonds? Where you're just like, I'll put up with his bullshit.
To be as bad, like, to have the issues that Trump has, like, how good would he have to be? He would have to be pretty good, yeah. Okay. But, I mean, he was in a lot of ways. Right?
Yeah.
Until this whole thing happened.
Sure.
Like, it would have been good for him, strategy-wise, to spend 2017 and 18 going after the media in exactly the same way he did, but giving people on the left, especially center-left people, like, you guys don't actually believe all this stupid shit that you're hearing on CNN. Give them an out.
Right.
Like, talk to the people that whose attention you're trying to capture, and then when all this shit would have come up, like when they saw Biden fucking waddle out on stage, they never would have voted for that guy. They would have held their breath. They probably would have voted third party, right? Just so they didn't contribute to Trump winning, but they would have been okay with him winning.
Even Jimmy Kimmel had a fucking real hard time with Biden on the other night. I mean, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was like talking to your fucking grandfather in a fucking nursing home kind of situation.
He just couldn't crack through, and like Biden didn't know where he was or what he was saying, and at one point they had to cut away to an awkward commercial. Like, I mean, it got real fucking bad. Bob, you have that footage there, I see? So let's pop this up on screen.
I thought those were all turkeys or something because it was small, but now you blew it up and it's.
So we have a lot of border agents who listen to the show, and they've been sending us this footage because nobody's going down there and nobody's helping, nobody's paying attention. So I'm like, we'll throw it up. Go ahead and pop it up on screen. I was like, I didn't know it was this bad down there. Jesus Christ.
I also heard from my Border Patrol contact this week that Border Patrol and Homeland Security at large are getting ready to reinstitute some kind of vaccination mandate.
Great.
To try to drive what remaining free thinkers there are out of the fucking. The problem with Border Patrol is most of Border Patrol did not get vaccinated.
I mean, look at this fucking shit. So this was, I don't know, 2-3 days ago?
We've been pretty fortunate as a country to not experience this on a regular basis until relatively recently, but this is a very common thing in the world. Shit happens, war, famine, whatever the fuck, authoritarianism, and people like get into groups of 15,000 to 2 million and travel to somewhere else, even if they have to live in the middle of the fucking desert somewhere.
Right.
This is very common. There's been a camp on the Afghan-Pakistan border for like 40 fucking years or something. There's still people that live in that area because of that camp that exists. I think at its height during the Russian invasion of Afghanistan, there were like 4 million people there or something like that. So we're not even in the same ballpark as what it really looks like when it's bad. but that's still fucking pretty bad.
Yeah, pop that up one more time, Bob, because it doesn't look like there's any tents or shit. Like they're just literally hanging out underneath a fucking bridge.
No,
right?
you do like people did.
Play it over if you don't mind. I only saw it on a phone.
You have to do what people did fucking 10,000 years ago, which is you walk and you keep walking until you find a water source. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way you can stay alive. You try to pack enough water to get to the next water source, or you just fucking start building buildings. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Like I don't blame any of these people here that you can see in this video for what's happening right now.
Me neither.
Because if the option was to invade America on foot, or let my kids starve to death or die of dehydration or disease, what the fuck choice would you make?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every reasonable human being would do this shit. So
I understand it. And that's the thing is like watching this footage, like I understand these people and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to escape.
I understand them a whole lot more than I understand any politician in this country. And I think that's something that we should all take some time to think about.
Yeah, man. I mean, that footage is gnarly. And they were like, hey, dude, would you guys mind showing this to help us out down here? I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. Because, we don't see anything.
No, you won't see this on the news.
Like, why spend an entire primetime evening with filmmakers and all that other shit trying to stitch together footage from January 6th? Go down to the fucking, like, this is happening now. Like, this is 48 hours ago.
Congressional hearings are the new Roman Coliseum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nothing more than a pathetic attempt to distract Americans from how badly politicians butt fuck us every single day. Politicians and unelected bureaucrats. I don't want to leave them out because they're just as big cunts. It's just not, it doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
Yeah. We don't want to leave you on a fucking full downer, obviously, today. I want to talk about this Geico thing. Bob, if you'll indulge me and bring up the lawsuit from Geico today, this is a really fun one. So a girl and a guy are having sex in the back of his car. And it's important to say that it's his car. She gets a venereal disease.
An STD.
Yeah, she gets a fucking STD.
But it was HPV, which 80% of the population has.
Right. So
this is just for context.
Sure. You can put that up on screen there. So she ends up suing Geico because he had insurance on the car that she was fucked in, and they've been ordered to pay $5.2 million in a settlement with this woman, and it's fucking insane. Everybody's flipping out online now. I can tell you firsthand because of the company cars and the vehicles and all this other shit. There is a way to up your coverage so that if something happens in your car, and that's the way it's defined in the coverage. If it happens in your car, your vehicle, and the outside of it, yes, they will pay for it. I don't have Geico. I've got USAA. But the dollar amount can go as high as you want if you're willing to pay for it. The fact that this actually went down is fucking insane to me.
Pretty funny. I mean, it's
really funny.
It was mostly a procedural error by Geico, I think. Like they thought because the claim was so fucking stupid that they could tell the dude, the actual policyholder, the one that gave her AIDS or whatever, like this is stupid. We're not representing you in this. Usually what happens is there's a lawsuit limit. Like it's $120,000, I think is as high as they'll go.
Right.
Depending on your coverage level and shit like that. I don't know. Brittany could tell you more about that. But Geico said, nah, bro, that's on you. Which seems, honestly, that seems kind of reasonable. I don't know what the law is around this, but why the fuck would Geico represent a dude for giving a girl HPV in a car that they insured? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So
it's crazy.
If somebody gets raped in a house that an insurance company fucking insures, are they on the hook for the rape? It doesn't make any sense, but
I know you're being facetious with it, but do you remember the robber that broke into that dude's house and broke his leg and then sued the people who owned the house? Like, shit like this does happen. 15 minutes will save you more than 15% though on this fucking thing. $5.2 million. My God, man. Good for her. Would you? I'm gonna ask Jack. Jack is back there. Jack, would you take a fucking STD for $15 million or for $5 million?
Oh, I've had HPV pretty much since I was 18. I'm a man of my generation.
So yeah, you want the 5.2.
Yeah, I wish I could have got paid for it at the time, though.
Yeah.
I can't blame her for trying to get a paycheck out of this.
Do you know where you got it and who it was with?
No. I mean, it was in my United States cream corn days when I was a little more liberal with my penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body was conservative, but your
But I
penis
mean,
was liberal.
Yeah. If majority of the women my age had it at the time. It could have been anybody.
Yeah, it could have been. Who were you putting your dick in back then?
Me?
Yeah, Waffle House waitresses.
I'm putting my mind into my artwork these days, Ross.
There it is.
Got you and Jesse a little present for the baby's room.
You sent me a picture of this last night.
It's real.
I didn't know if it was real, so this is real.
This is for the baby's room.
So you've got
It's
full.
a cigarette. For the audio listeners, it's half a cigarette that is smoked, and it says, does it say for Baby Patterson on
It
it?
says Baby Patterson and cigarettes.
So you've gone full George W. Bush then.
Or Jim Carrey. Let's give him Jim Carrey as a comedian.
Jim
Nice
Carrey's not
comedian.
doing paintings, is
Yeah,
he?
he is.
Oh boy, what?
Oh, yeah.
That's
They're
horrifying.
actually not bad, which is crazy. Bush's shit I can't really get behind. Better artists, Jim Carrey or Bush, Jack.
Pull up a Jim Carrey painting, Bob. I've never seen it.
He does a lot of political paintings.
boy.
Huge shock.
I'm only going to say
obviously.
Bush because he actually painted a couple people that I know.
Really? Who?
Yeah. Jay Fain and Omar Villa.
Crispy?
Crispy, yeah.
He painted Crispy?
He painted Crispy and Jay
I
Fain.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
We've had, obviously, Crispy's been on the show numerous times.
And Justin Constantine, R.I.P.
Maybe not post that one, but yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's done. The damage is done. We did it. It was a swastika with Trump. That's what Jim Carrey paints. What else? Show the rest of it.
Nothing of value. then.
Nothing of value, but at least the painting itself isn't bad. It's a lot of Trump. He's got a lot of hatred for Trump.
Yeah, his is
honestly.
very
very vivid.
motivated towards one man.
You can show the Kim Jong-un one. Look at that one. Yeah, look at that. It looks like he's maybe choking out Trump is some kind of strangle basin stitch or riding him like a horse. One of the two.
Wait, what's in? Oh, that's a foot. I thought Trump had like a turkey leg in his hand.
Yeah, but as far as the quality of the artwork and the paint is concerned, now bring yours up here, Jack. Bring yours over here. I'll put it on camera over here. Oh, there you go. It's right there. All right. Boom. Yeah, we'll pop this up just in case. Just in case. This is nice, Jack. You look nice today. You going live tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Drink it all in, kids.
Interesting.
And now this is because you smoke cigarettes, or because my wife used to.
No, it's just I like cigarettes, and it's a pretty basic thing to. So I just started painting for the first time on Monday.
Did you really?
That's painting number 4 right there.
This is pretty
So
fucking
this
good.
is you're
this isn't bad.
The way that you show appreciation and gratitude is basically like a cat, right? Like I have no use for a dead mouse, but you think that's important to you, so you bring me the dead mouse. And that, if anything I've ever seen is a fucking dead mouse, it's that, for sure.
I want to give you something kind, but also share my world with you at the same time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because outside of painting, which is my new hobby, the only other hobby I've ever had is smoking cigarettes.
Obviously.
Not really sure.
There's
that's
2 things I do for myself now: cigarettes and painting.
Is that a hobby? What is a hobby exactly? Can we define hobby?
A hobby is something that passes the time that you enjoy, but maybe others might not
But there's
necessarily enjoy.
usually a product from a hobby.
Yes, like so if
I
you're
don't think
like
that's true. Drinking
knitting,
can be a hobby.
Drinking is not a hobby.
Just depends on how you drink. Like me crushing 30 Modelo's is not a hobby. However, I don't know, me having like a fancy wine tasting in my spare time.
yeah, to try to develop a flavor palette. That's a hobby.
But the product there is the interaction with you and the group, right? There's still a product. There's no product from smoking except for lung cancer. That's not a hobby.
That's the risk I'm willing to take for something
I'm not
I
saying
love.
you shouldn't do it. I believe in smoking, and I believe in your right to smoke wherever you want. There's no evidence that secondhand smoke kills people. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's fucking stupid, man. But
I'm not a doctor. I'm not
even
gonna
if
back
it
that up.
did, I don't give a shit. Do what you want. Just don't call it a hobby because it isn't.
Okay, so painting is my only hobby I have on this planet, and I just started last Monday.
I like it. What are you going to paint me?
I'll do that actually. So I'm literally I'm obsessed with it right now. I'm gonna rush home after the show tonight and just start painting again.
Are you? What are you thinking for Dan?
Well, you should have brought your stuff and done the show, like paint during the show. Are you too anxious about
Oh
it?
shit!
I could make a run to Hobby Lobby.
How long did this take you to paint this beautiful thing?
That was probably about an hour and a half.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you could do a full Jack sesh where you get into it. What's the dollar amount for somebody in the audience to give you that you would actually make a painting for them? So let's say they wanted a fat baby on a hobby horse.
Look, I could go for it, but the whole point of me, the reason why I started it is I love my job, but at the end of the day, that's how I make money. And I used to write for free. I used to write with expecting nothing in return, and now it's all about money because I got to get paid.
Sure.
But I want to do something artistic where I don't expect anything in return. So that's why painting has become important to me.
I see. Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't make sense is Geico getting sued and having to pay $5.2 million because some lady got plowed in the back of a car.
That happens, though, brother. Man.
Honestly.
That's crazy.
By the way, Dan, I actually did already sketch out a painting for you.
Oh,
Do you want
boy.
me to do you want to surprise you or tell you what it is?
Tell me what it is.
It's I haven't thought of the accoutrement with it yet, but it's basically going to say "get friendly" instead of "get fucked."
Well, that is accurate, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty
Yeah.
friendly guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't look like it or sound like it.
No,
or
not
act,
at all.
Or act like it.
And Dan, you have a lot of nice art in your house. I'd be honored if you could like put it in your closet or something like
No,
that.
Yeah, he's got a
I'll-
new house. He's
yeah.
got walls to fill.
Well, no, I've got a number of very high quality paintings as well.
Yeah, but you've got space to fill. So
Oh, yeah,
you can
yeah.
put one of Jack's works up there for
Yeah, I'll
sure.
probably put it on the ceiling above my bed.
Oh, look at that. That'd
Yeah.
be nice.
I'd be honored.
Make Brittany look at it all the time.
Yeah. Put you right to bed.
Somebody needs a reminder that I'm above her at all times.
If you painted a portrait of Dan nude on the cross so that way he could hang that above his bed, that'd be great.
What if I was on the cross and then my dick and balls were on a smaller cross?
I will paint that tonight. I'll run to Hobby Lobby before. The only reason I'm in here 4 hours early is to quote Richard Gere in An Officer and a Gentleman. I got nowhere else to go.
No, and we love that you're here. You're going to go live on YouTube tonight, right?
Sure, I'll do a
Let's
little
do it.
YouTube. Yeah,
Let's
I
do
think
it.
The last one did pretty well.
It did, actually.
Yeah.
And then you went to sleep on Patreon. You finally did it.
I did it.
We've
Yep.
been talking about this forever, and you were like, man, it's my dream to go to sleep on Patreon. The amount of messages I got where they were like, man, it was oddly soothing watching Jack sleep.
I scrubbed through it, and I was turning over every half hour or so, so people were getting a little stimulation there.
Yeah, did you analyze why you were doing that? Like, what was going on? Were you having bad dreams that night?
I watched myself before I went to sleep, and I was just laying there eating Cheetos, watching the TV screen.
What were you watching?
Stranger Things. I started the fourth season.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Is,
through the first
uh,
couple episodes.
is-
It's great.
Is Jennifer Marshall in this season again?
She is actually,
Oh,
and
cool.
she has more. She has more in this season than any other season. She did a great job.
No shit.
She's
Yeah.
she's a really good actress, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was top notch.
We came up with a couple of incredible movie ideas. When we had her on the show, I think it was in 2019.
Oh my god, dude. That was North and South episode.
Yeah, North and South. Remember that?
Yeah, you guys got the posters made.
Yeah. But there was also, and I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this, Jack, but there was also Quantum Butt Leap.
Oh, I love that. You know they're remaking that show.
I'm
They are.
watching.
They're remaking it right now. You know
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah.
Who's playing Scott Bakula's character?
I think they're trying to bring back Bakula. He looks great. Have you seen him?
Yeah, but he's
He
too
still
old.
holds up. The other guy is dead though in real life.
Oh, he just passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I
Dean
think
Stockwell.
a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Stockwell. He died I think he died of being old as fuck.
Yeah, he was
last
super
year.
old.
But yeah, I think did I explain what Quantum Butt Leap is?
No.
So same kind of scenario, but the guy is he keeps leaping into the bodies of super sexually aggressive gay male bottoms. And
So he's always getting fucked.
But he's a homophobe,
Yep.
right? And this is kind of like the universe's way of teaching him not to be, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So he just keeps jumping into the next body, but he only jumps to the next place after he gets
Yeah.
fucked in the
Like-
ass by another dude.
Probably Hayden Ashbury Street in 1982.
Yeah, well, I mean, it jumps around, right? You never know.
You never know. West Hollywood, you keep jumping. There's a lot of
Yeah.
places to jump.
Loring
There's
Park.
gonna be a lot more too. Shit. There was a fucking study today. There was a sharp rise in trans kids. I wonder why, if you put it in front of their face every goddamn second of the day, they're going to eventually do it. Last night, so I watched the January 6th hearings last night, and then immediately afterwards, they went into this Pride special, and it was all like trans kids and shit like that, and they were like, we've got to protect them. States are shutting down. I guess it was a state that shut down any operation under the age of 19, and they were fucking raging about that, and I was like, why? You don't want people to have guns until 21. Why should you be allowed to have the other shit? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. But that was the next special on ABC last night. And I was like, fucking A, where are we?
Deborah So has done very good research on this. Hopefully she'll be back down here in Austin soon, and we can have her on the show and discuss all of it.
Because the numbers are going to keep going up. I mean, that if you keep just jamming this in front of people's faces, yeah, they're going to fucking be like, all right, sweet. Let's do it. Let's give it a go-sies and see how that works out. I'd be curious, if you do have her on, ask her about the number of people who have suicidal fucking problems afterwards, later on down the road.
Before and after.
Well, because I think if you make a decision that big too young, later on, if you end up regretting it, what you can't reverse it, right?
There's some stuff you can reverse, I suppose. If you start hormone therapy young, then no, you can't reverse those effects. But if you get your dick cut off, obviously, and stuffed up inside you, probably not going to get those effects reversed either. I mean, technically, a double mastectomy, which is common for women transitioning to men, you could correct that with breast implants, but there's massive scars across their chest.
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah.
You saw it with Elliot Page.
Yeah, and I know Bill Maher did this story a few weeks ago. That was obviously before this study came out. But, yeah, the numbers are rising drastically here, according to these new surveys. And it's just like, fuck, dude. This is kind of where we are, you know? It's strange. Let's get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week, and then we'll have the Jack Sesh next here. I'd like to give it to the Drinkin' Bro of the week to Sean Lake. I know you had a conversation with him today while I was at the doctor's office. Bubs is a new sponsor to the show, Bubs Naturals. But tell everybody why it's called Bubs.
I mean, it's called Bubs because that was the call sign of Glenn Doherty. And if that name doesn't sound familiar, he was one of the guys in Benghazi that was working for GRS when all that shit went down. He was the remote. If you've seen or read the story or seen 13 Hours and that stuff, he was the guy that was in another area, flew in, got supplies to help Jack and the other guys get out, and then he got killed on the rooftop by, I believe, mortar fire.
No.
But yeah, that's Bub's his name, and Sean. He and Sean were high school friends.
Gotcha.
So Bub was in the same unit as Clint Emerson and Mike, our buddy Mike Ritland.
Yep.
Like they're all friends. They've all known, all these dudes have known each other for years, and Sean's been along with some help members of the family has been running the Glenn Doherty Foundation for a very long time. And they started this company up, needed a name for it, and decided to use it as almost a feeder for the charity. So I think 10% of all the money from this goes to the Glenn Doherty Foundation.
Okay.
So that's the short version.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have him on the show in July sometime to go through everything.
And Bubs is going to be a new sponsor here. When you told me this story before, because we always vet all the sponsors before they come on and everything else, I did not know the story behind Bubs. I've obviously heard of it, but as soon as I heard the story, I was like, dude, let's fucking do it, man. I mean, shit, it should be the Bubs Drinkin' Bro of the week, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But this will be bubsnatural.com, and I'm assuming the promo code will be Drinkin' Bros soon coming up. But crazy interesting story, and I had no idea Mike Ritland and all those guys were together. That's nuts, man. Crazy. Jack, anybody you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the week to back there, you fucking dirtbag?
I have a tradition. It's the same guy every time. He's the only meme page that I follow. His name is John Leisure, Woke Johnny Bravo on Instagram. That's it. He's always going to be, he's my eternal Drinkin' Bro of the week.
Woke Johnny Bravo? I don't know that I follow him.
It's just memes? It's just recycled memes. I don't really follow meme pages, but he's my guy.
I follow a couple, I think. Let's see. Shithead Steve is one of my big ones.
Yeah, that's a huge one. I see that stuff all the time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still follow Fuck Jerry. because they'll usually have something good once a month. The rest of it, though, truthfully, my meme source, my main source of memes, I guess I should say, is from Drinkin' Bros, like all the private groups and shit. There's so many fucked up ones that are great.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, man, do I post this or not? It's always on the verge of like, man, if I post this, am I going to get deleted? Like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, it's not 2013 anymore. Facebook's not the Wild West.
No, I don't. They deleted my page. It's gone.
Why
Really?
does no one ever
Yeah.
talks about the Wild East?
No, they don't. Because
know
it was
why.
never wild.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess the Civil War.
Yeah. And drunk Irishmen beating their wives.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. Yeah, you're right. It was fucking wilder, probably. Shit, you ever seen Gangs of New York? That shit was wild as
That's
fuck.
what I was thinking of. Yeah. Oh, I meant like the Far East though,
Oh, jeez. who
like
knows?
Wild China. I want to see real world China.
No, didn't they do that Owen Wilson / Jackie Chan movie?
Wow.
Shanghai
Oh,
Noon?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was set in like the late 19th century, right? I'm talking about from 1990s forward China, like the real world on MTV.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see real world China, and it's just 5 of the same dude and 5 of the same
Bro,
woman. Then they're not
I
allowed to
would love
say
it.
they're not allowed to say shit. But you have to show the B-roll, like the BTS footage where there's an AK pointed at all of them the whole time. You know what I mean? It would be wild.
I just saw, what did I see? Jersey Shore is back. They're doing another like vacation on MTV. This would be way better. Let's show real world China and then like real world Syria. Like just 10 strangers all living in a mud hut. What happens? Are they going to eat this week?
It sounds like a Vet TV thing, doesn't it?
It does, dude.
Like real world Middle East.
Yeah.
They should just
Pitch it to Donnie.
Tell Donnie to do that.
Pitch it to Donnie O'Malley. Tell
just-
him we want nothing.
That's
from
really
him.
easy because you only have like maybe 2 or 3 shoot locations.
Yeah.
Right? Because the real world was centered around there's the house, then there's the job that they all did, and
Yeah.
then there's whatever
Yeah.
whatever recreation like the bars and stuff. But you can fake that.
They
pretty
could just
easy.
go up. They're in SoCal. They're inland. They could just go up into the hills and do it.
Yeah.
One dirty ass soccer ball that doesn't have any patches on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all one color, and you're like,
Been there for generations.
And there's this fucking like airstrikes happening constantly. It's
In the background.
It's real world Yemen.
And you get introduced to like new characters all the time. Like
Yeah.
like the Russian guy, and then the British guy, and then the American guy.
Well, there's clearly a non-Yemeni person there that's spying on them, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like a Russian dude with like an iron jaw. He's talking in a heavy accent.
just that blonde Ivan Drago
Yeah.
looking guy.
So I got woken up at 3 a.m. today again from a bomb. Typical. Yeah, God, you could go. It'd be endless with that fucking shit. Bob, paying back to you. You're now behind the thing. Whenever Delco Dan has to shit himself because of Crohn's, he runs out of the room and slams the door. And I think he slams the door out of like just being pissed that he's got to shit again for like the 9th time today.
It could be urgency as well.
But do you slam the door? Like, I don't think that's necessary.
I don't think it's that you slam the door. I think it's that you don't take time to not slam the door. You know what I mean? Usually you would carefully close it so as not to disturb this, program that's going on. But
Yeah,
he didn't
this
have
fact.
time for that. His asshole was turning inside out.
Yeah, no, it's turning inside out. Nothing you can do.
His butthole actually puckers before he shits. It's weird.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. You okay? You doing good there? We killing it?
I had to fucking piss.
Sure you did. Nobody slams the door on a piss like that. No one. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review.
Also, follow us on YouTube if you're not already. We are currently,
That's right. Shit. Where are we at, dude?
as of Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we're at 99373.
Okay.
So we're 627 subscribers away from 100,000. And just so you know what's on the line for that, if we don't meet that goal, which we will either way. But if we don't,
I hope so.
If we don't meet that goal by August 1st, Delco has to sell all of his crypto at its current value.
Correct. And
But what did you put up?
Me?
Yeah.
So the bottle of Pappy
never
Van
puts up
Wi-
shit.
I do all the time.
I
do
feel
all the fucking. I had to buy an Ed Sheeran jacket for $400.
Yeah, but you're asking him.
The NFL.
You're asking him to liquidate his life savings.
Yes, but I was painted like a clown for my favorite porn star, Lisa Ann. You think I was fucking amped about
And
that
it
day?
played.
I had to get a fucking perm
And it
in real life.
played.
Jack, you remember that perm I had to get?
Yeah, that was me that did that. By the way.
Yeah.
And they all played.
And that's fine, but like, dude, yes, something is on the line. My marriage was on the line with that perm.
Nothing-
That was my wife's birthday
No, you
and our
wanted-
only vacation.
You just wanted to do that the entire time. You just wanted a perm.
I did not. That was for the Falcons game. It was the. I bet on the Falcons.
I know, but you're betting things you want to do.
No, dude, I did not. I want the Falcons to win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. Now that is years from happening. I don't even know if I'll be alive for it. Think about it. At the top of the show was talking about the doctor and the 6-month checkup, right? If I would have died during that, I never would have seen the Falcons win in my entire life.
It's like me putting up, oh, I'm going to get a neck tat if the Eagles lose this game. I want the tat. So,
You want a neck tat?
Yeah.
What do you want the neck tat for? You're a good-looking dude. There's no reason for a neck tat.
Why
now,
not get the
and
neck
now,
tat?
if Jack got a neck tat, sure. You know what I'm saying? But Dan, no.
I
You're
think
not
you-
married yet.
You should let Jack design the neck tattoo.
Let him do it.
It's going to be a cigarette.
Up or down? Is it lit? Is it going
It's
lit?
And the fumes will go gracefully behind his ear.
That's actually kind of dope, dude. Like, I'd be in for that.
Could it be like a cartoon taco? Like smoking a cig?
That's a good idea.
Like with little feet and eyes and stuff. I like that. I like that a lot. What is your secret neck tat, by the way? What do you actually want?
He's from Delco, dude.
Yeah, I don't care.
But do you want like the fucking Liberty Bell? Like, is it going to be something super Philly with like the crack in it, or
No, but I mean, I could do that, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to what
It's
is-
the Liberty Bell smoking a cigarette through the crack. That's its mouth.
Newport.
Yeah.
It's Allen Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue. Like, what is it?
Poverty.
Yeah. How do you tattoo? I guess the neck tattoo is kind of a symbol of poverty.
If you get it, I want to score it with Streets of Philadelphia by Bruce Springsteen, and we'll put that up on.
We can't afford that
on YouTube. We could, but no. So for $100,000, we're gonna drink the bottle of Pappy Van Winkle live on air. Jack, do you know about that?
No, but can I mix mine with a Coke?
That's what we're doing.
Okay,
So
thank
it is a listener sent in a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. Dan, what's the estimated value you sent?
I would have to look at the bottle.
Probably
again.
$2,000.
It's, it's somewhere between 15 and 5.
Okay.
Something like that.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
we're making mixed drinks with it live on air.
I'm not.
For the 100,000. He's refusing to do it. He's just going to drink it straight. The rest of us are going to make whiskey sours and Tab.
Yeah.
Mix it with some Tab live
Yep.
on air. And you'll hear the crack of the bottle. And if you're watching on YouTube and subscribed, you'll be able to see us physically drink this brand new bottle of Pappy Van Winkle live on air. And mix it with some fun, flirty stuff. I want some cherries in there. I want all the things to happen. Mix it with some coffee, maybe a
put some
pina
Gatorade
colada.
powder in there.
Oh, God damn it, dude. Could you imagine? It's going down. It's going to happen, and I'm looking forward to it. Yes, we are 617 subscribers away from that. So subscribe on YouTube, click the bell, and turn on your notifications. I guess that's what has a lot to do with it, is what Giorgio was saying the other day.
Yeah, you have to. There's multiple steps. Like you have to turn on notifications in general. Then you have to subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications
On your phone, on your iPhone.
on both your desktop and your phone.
Yeah. So do that, and then, once we get to 100, Dan sells all of his crypto, maybe. But the bottle of Pappy is going down. I hid that in the closet, so we're good to go on that. And then go to Spotify and rate the show. Just a 5-star, that's all it is. You don't have to, there's no reviews. They don't have that kind of system there. And then you can just walk away. Really helps us with advertisers, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, kids. Clean bill of health, good to go. And no plans on stopping ever until, again, the wheels fucking fall off and we just can't do it anymore. So we're good to go here on the old Drinkin' Bros. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.